Welcome, I'm Daisy, your hostess, and you are in my tarot playlist where in this video, I will be doing a comprehensive collective reading for the week of Monday, January 16th through Sunday the 22nd. And if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And to our Fortune community, welcome back. Hopefully you've had a wonderful week and you're ready to set off a whole new one with adventure, vim, and vigor. This video will give us a comprehensive look at the week from different angles. We will take a look at the lunar influence of the moon, where it's located in the heavens, and depending on its position, how that will influence us here on Earth. That will be followed by a 7-day outlook. We will take a look at each day of the week, and I will interpret a card for each day. And then I will be taking a little look at angels and demons. What are going to be our pleasures and temptations? What's going to be whispering over here? What's going to be whispering over there? And what will we choose? I'm looking forward to your comments. All right, then I will draw a card for the elements, our fire signs, our water signs, our earth signs, and our air signs. Get an idea how the energy is going to be for each one of us. Then that will be followed by a numerology influence. I will draw a number, random number, and see what that number is and how that vibration will play out for all of us. And then I will answer your community question. So if you are interested in a mini reading to get an answer of something that's on your mind, put it on here. You will be surprised how many others may have a very similar question, and hence that's why this is called a collective reading. We help each other and we lift up our energy, right? And then that is followed by a 1-minute meditation reflection together with me, and where we come into our breath and just kind of slow it down for a little bit, come back to our center and awareness so that we can refocus and move on during the week. And move on. All right, and then I will offer up an affirmation that you can put it in a 3x5 card, type it in your phone, and have it as a reminder, as a little boost. If you're feeling a little bit down, you can say it in the morning and say it in the afternoon and in the evening, and help it just reboost your vibration and get you back on track to a positive and better outlook. All right, are you ready? I am. So without any further delay, let's get started. We now move on to the lunar influence for the week of January 16th all the way through Sunday, January 22nd. So we go from Monday through Sunday. During the cycle of the moon passes through all 12 signs of the Zodiac, stopping in each of them for at least 2 or 3 days. And this is where we may begin to feel the influence of each of these zodiacs on these days, and it affects us, our mood, our thinking, and a lot more. So the moon has a long, long history of influencing us here on Earth, and it has had spiritual meaning to many people around the world. Our moon controls the tides, the rains, the waters, and so much more, as it is a guiding light in the sky. To many lunar gazers, the moon brings peace and inner wisdom. The moon often represents the realm between our conscious and our unconscious, and the phases help us have a celestial point of reference throughout the month. The moon, with its 8 distinct phases, help us make associations and notations to our own personal journey throughout the month. Let us take a look where the moon will travel this week and its possible influence over us. Monday through Friday, we will experience the moon moving through the heavens and traveling from Scorpio through Capricorn in its waning crescent stage as it heads to its glorious new moon. The light of the moon begins to fade, giving us an opportunity to shift inward toward reflection and contemplation, and giving us that chance to focus on personal growth. So this is the mindset where at that inner level, the influence that the moon is going to have us going in during the major part of this week about personal growth, personal reflection. So don't be surprised if you find yourself pulling in a little bit and focusing on your inner journey. Or it could be that experiences and situations may guide you in that direction as well. Let's go back to that waning moon. The waning moon phase is a low energy phase. It is important to sit back and recognize yourself as a person in full, meaning all of you. This means to explore your habits, your inner thoughts, your self-conversations, that head talk, and review your feelings and how you've come to associate them with the situations that you are dealing with now, currently in your life. This inner reflection will help set the course towards taking action for improvement and growth. So on Monday and Tuesday, which is January 16 and January 17, the moon is waning crescent in Scorpio. This influence of the Zodiac Scorpio will have us going deep into our emotions, as this is their nature. They have a reputation for being tough-minded and very probing, having that ability for deep thinking and addressing complex matters. This Scorpio influence on Monday and Tuesday will allow you to face the issues that you desire most, and you will find yourself being able to express that on the outside. So if you dare to be courageous, and you can see how much of the crazy is simply a distortion of reality towards what you really want and the things that you think you want, then you'll be able to use this Scorpio energy to bring it out and map that course for you. So Scorpio energy will help you see uncomfortable things within yourself, because sometimes issues that come up, we are in some aspect a part of creating it. So we cannot exclude ourselves out of the drama that is playing out. We are the main actor. So we need to see how much of it is us. How much of it are we bringing to the table? This is not about taking blame, but this is taking ownership. So on Monday and Tuesday, situations will present themselves where you will have an opportunity to look at the world you have created. And this opens a space for you to make adjustments for your future and to reflect more in depth about the truth in your actions. So make sure that you're not too absorbed in your inner shenanigans and doings. Use this period of introspection so that it could lead you to greater self-awareness and as well as those around you. Get ready, because on Tuesday, January 17, right about 17:33 hour, this is mountain time, the moon then shifts into, guess what? Fun-loving Sagittarius. So that on Tuesday, you'll have the blended energies of the morning part being in that Scorpio, and then bam, gently as the afternoon comes in, begins to be influenced by Sagittarius energy. So moving into Wednesday and Thursday, that's January 18th, and Thursday, January 19th, we're now being influenced by the waning crescent moon in Sagittarius. So guess what? Get ready to bloom. The waning moon in Sagittarius marks the journey towards the upcoming new moon, and this will allow many of us to cultivate all that has come to fruition during the last lunar cycle. So it's all piling in, and now using the Sagittarius energy, you can now bring forth the best of all the good and the challenges that you've been through. So keep in mind to consider all the possibilities of a situation, to look at all sides, whether it's the dark side or the light side, instead of just focusing on one little roadblock. Regardless of how impossible things may look, it is the Sagittarius energy that will allow you to see the best in everything. It is the Sagittarius of the Zodiac, the learned healers whose higher intelligence forms a bridge between heaven and earth. And that is where we are going to cultivate the energy from this beautiful energy that's coming through to continue to bloom, to continue to grow. So you may find yourself both on the 18th and 19th, which is Wednesday and Thursday, getting really busy doing a lot of things that are not only helping others, but somehow all this activity is precisely what you need so that you can start feeling the things that you need that are going to catapult you to your next level. And let me add that Sagittarius is influenced by Jupiter, and that connection is auspicious for good luck, good fortune, and positive encounters. So if there's any great meeting that you need to do, any contracts that you need to sign, any deal that you need to embark on, make sure that it's happening on Wednesday and Thursday. Lock it in. Okay, let's move on now to Thursday, where on January 19th, you're going to get a bump. You're going to get a push from the transition of the moon in Sagittarian moving into Capricorn right about that 1912 hour. And so that's later during the day. So you'll have that influence as you step away from that vibrant energy. So if you're in that mode, just remember it's going to shift later on Thursday. Let's move now to Friday, the 20th, where our waning crescent moon is now in Capricorn. This is no more daydreaming. It's back to business, as Capricorn waning moon is asking us to love our inner self, the real you. And it's time to start releasing your addictions, whether it's overworking, whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking, whether it's any vice that you may have, shopping and gambling, whatever that is. It is time for you to align with your highest destiny, your highest purpose. And it's time to take charge of your transformation. So come Friday, things are going to be moving you in that direction. And it might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable, whether it's at work or in business. Things will put you, or you will be put in situations that are going to demand the best of you. So it's important that you take a practical approach to the things you're doing and be very resourceful in all the things that you're going to do. Don't leave anything to chance. Because you know what? Slow and steady is the motto today. And in any way you're able to smooth any conflict that you've had in the past, this is how you're going to create those strong foundations and secure that growth that is coming for you. You have the ideal version of yourself. What that looks like to you as your physical self, your emotional self, your financial endeavors, your travel plans, whatever that means, you do have the best and highest version. You can see that for you. You need to stay focused on how you're going to get there. We move on now to Saturday, January 21st, where the moon is now a new moon in Capricorn. This whole journey has taken us here. The moon presents itself as a new moon in Capricorn, and it is all about ambition. You see, Capricorns desire the best things of what they can achieve here on earth. And that's their struggle. That's their plan. That's their purpose. So on Saturday, you may find yourself with this energy about what else can you do to take yourself to that next energy. So as the moon continues to darken, so also do the energies of all things that deflate. So you will need to push through whatever barriers are showing up, whether they're mental or physical. You need to keep going. You need to keep progressing forward. And to begin, if you haven't already done so, to strive to make the changes necessary that will make the difference in the long run, to give you the lifestyle that you so have been pushing for. It is not a dream anymore. It is a reality. Use Capricorn energy to set that goal for yourself and to use this new moon energy to move forward to that. And remember, it's one step at a time. So, being that we will be influenced by Capricorn and it is a cardinal in nature, Therefore, you may feel a little restless energy to start those new things. You'll be so excited to get on with these new projects and set the plans for new travels and even new relationships. As you go through your day on Saturday, be prepared for a shift of energies as the moon slowly but surely navigates and positions itself into Aquarius right around that 1829 hours. Again, that is mountain time. So then on January 22nd, that's Sunday, January 22nd, the moon is now getting out of its slumber and begins its waxing journey as it presents itself as a waxing crescent moon in Aquarius. Expect the subtle influences of the Aquarius energy. It's time to check in and see how we're progressing. There is a need to now begin to adjust, and this is so appropriate coming in on the weekend as we start looking forward towards the new week. What is our progress? And as we can evaluate our progress, we can then determine where are we going. So the questions you may feel that situations may present, giving you the opportunity to ask yourself, what am I willing to contribute to others through my goals, through my pursuit of happiness, through my personal ambitions? You see, it is Aquarius humanitarian energy, seeing the bigger picture, seeing that there's more to life than just your own existence, which will then give you this taste of more, this desire to give more, be more, do more. So the new moon is beginning a fresh, energetic cycle, inviting you along the journey to start a clean slate, to make new, clear goals, to focus on the real needs that you have, and to plant seeds that will help you spend greater investment in yourself and in the things that you're trying to pursue. Those seeds are what? The thoughts and dreams that you put in your mind. So you will find this energy on Sunday holding you to some great ideals of what you want for yourself and the world around you. What needs more nurturing in your life? What relationships do you want in your life? Where and how do you want to spend your time with yourself, with your community, with your tribe? So allow yourself all the best as you begin to honor this for yourself. Embrace the strength of this waxing crescent moon phase and learn a little bit on how to compromise the things for yourself as you also focus on the bigger picture. And make sure that your priorities align with your greatest truth. So it will be a grand finale of a weekend for all of us as we're being influenced with this moon energy in these amazing zodiac vibes. Okay, let's move on now to the next section of our comprehensive reading. All right, in this section, we're going to do the 7-day forecast for Monday, that's January 16th, all the way through Sunday, January 17th. So we'll do a little activation here, protection, and beautiful vibes. Here we go. So we will have Monday, Tuesday, so we start off on Monday. Ooh, we have the Page of Cups. So we see the Page of Cups and he is upside down. So what do we see? It's a young man here. He's got a fish here. And it's interesting because if we go back to the lunar influence, we have the moon in Scorpio, which is a water element. So there is already an omen here or a sign about maybe possibly miscommunication or not following your intuition, as this waning moon in Scorpio is asking and urging us to go into ourselves and to do some self-reflection. So that's really interesting as Monday comes along. What issues are going to be coming up where we're not being honest or we're not following our intuition or the communication is going to be off? So that is the first thing to look at. Then we see a lot of elements here as well with this young person, or this vibrant young energy, or this new information that is trying to present itself. So we look at the different areas, whether it's love, career, and finances, the three big areas that I always like to address. So could it be that in love you are waiting for something, or this could be that you're in a relationship with either someone that's too mature, or the relationship has not evolved yet, where issues have happened where you have to come in and really kind of bail each other out emotionally. And so a lot of things haven't happened here yet. Or it could be that you're feeling vulnerable to express yourself, to express your true feelings. That's why this one is upside down like that. So now let's move on to the area of career, where this could mean not just career, could be if you're in higher academics, going to university or college, that would apply to you also. If you're involved in charity or civic groups, that applies to you as well. Or this could be your own personal business, if you work for yourself. So in that scope, it could be that maybe you're feeling a little bit insecure about your job, insecure about the program, insecure about the projects that you are trying to move forward or getting yourself involved in. And if you are on the artistic side of the spectrum, it could be that you either have a writer's block, creator's block, you can't get your music out, you can't get your book out, you can't get the art out, and so you have this block, and you need kind of the inspiration to come back and show up in your life. And in the area of finance, this could be that you're in denial about, your financial situation. Yes, we know that we're coming off the holidays. There's been a lot of spending, maybe traveling, maybe new expenses that have shown up that now have added themselves to the pool. And really now getting a grasp of this while you still can, because the page is kind of that young cycle. This would behoove that you do that, to look into that so you can, get a grasp of your financial situation. And the moon in Scorpio is asking you to come back to that space so that you can address those inner and private issues, so that you can have that personal growth, so you can have that relief that you need, so you can have that financial breakthrough that you so long for. So this might be a tough, and this is probably why this is showing up, that there are some personal issues that you are dealing with, and you're struggling with that, whether it's vices, whether it's relationship matters, whether it's money matters. Something is showing up that really needs you to look at the man in the mirror, look at the woman in the mirror, however that may be, and really tap into that so that you can open up that fountain and that creativity back again. So we have that showing up. And one of the things that I associate the pages with is with the number 11. And the number 11 is a master number. It's about our soul mission and our soul purpose. And I believe that this waning crescent moon in Scorpio is a call for us to come back in and reconnect with that divine path, our purpose in life. So take some time and see what you can do as you address those issues on Monday. We go into Tuesday, and let's see what we have. Wow, it doesn't get any better. It just gets a little worse, because now we're deeper into this cycle, and that moon is still in Scorpio on Tuesday. So we feel this evolution of this energy as we're looking at the King of Cups. I've mentioned before that I associate the king with the number 14. As the minor arcana, you start with the aces and you go to number 10. And then you have the court cards, which are these cards, your page, your knight, your queen, and the king. So I usually keep counting 11, 12, 13, and then this is 14. So with this number 14, you have the number 1 and the number 4. And when you have that blend of energy, you're talking about initiations of projects and things, relationships, those things that you're working towards. And so we're moving on Tuesday with this energy, but we're having a struggle, getting started. Where's the impetus to this? Where is the movement and the energy that's going to help us have this emotional breakthrough that we seem to still now be deeper in binded with it? Being that it is the king, it's the king in itself. The King of Cups is a person that has reached that stability with their emotions, that know themselves. So when we see this king upside down, this king energy is about focusing on positive affirmations, your positive intentions, manifesting your goals, understanding your feelings as it relates to the things that you want to achieve, whether it's success with business, success in money matters, success in life in general, and in your relationship. So it's going to be a heavy Tuesday, a heavy Monday, and a heavier Tuesday as you're moving through this week with this waning moon in Scorpio. So additionally, as you're going through your day on Tuesday, there could be a lot of moodiness, a lot of volatility, a lot of emotional manipulation. So, because this king knows what he wants and he knows how to get it, and in his upside down state, it's the worst of this nature. So be careful that either you will be involved in or be a part of manipulation. So, could this person in your life be somewhat a little bit selfish in just focusing on their own personal needs and just leaving you in the vacuum of all this space here, and you just don't have enough of yourself to give to the other person, but they're sucking the life out of you. So pay close attention, as this energy is either going to be played by you or played by someone around you. And as we look at this in the aspect of our work on Tuesday, it could be that, you may be feeling a little bit uncomfortable about this job. And this is a collective group. So mind you, this is not a personal reading. So I have to pull what this interpretation is as it would be to a collective group out there that may be dealing with a job that they're not very happy with. And you're staying in this job because right now you don't see anything better, even though you're not being fulfilled emotionally. And so you may want to contemplate, what is this going to continue to look like for you and for your health and your mental health, emotional health, staying in this job? Is it worth it? So these are things that you may need to really have a heart-to-heart, as this is an emotional card, heart-to-heart talk when it comes to your job. And again, when it comes to the finances, as it was discussed here with the Page of Cups, when it comes to finances, it's like being totally out of control and in denial about your financial situation. How can you go on spending money that you're not making? You're tapping out your credit cards, and you know that that's going to be a roadkill at the end of that situation. So it's important to look at your financial choices and begin to make the adjustments where you need to make them so that you can have a strong year moving forward. We are just at the beginning of the year, and we can get a handle on this if we catch it early. Moving on to Wednesday. While the lunar energy on Wednesday is transitioning into Sagittarius, it looks like there's still some real issues to deal with. Things that we need to focus on, as we see this in the Eight of Pentacles reversed. In its right side up version, we see this person here, diligent, working on things. He's got a lot of things lined up, ready to happen for this person. He's got the skills. He's prepared to just, get busy and down to the task. In its reverse state, we see here that maybe things are a little bit overwhelming. Maybe you've taken on a little bit more than you can handle. Could this be because of what we've seen already here, because of your financial situation? You're looking into the future. In a relationship, could be a couple things. Maybe you're putting too much effort into this relationship. You're giving too much energy into a relationship that really is not giving back to you, and it's leaving you drained and exhausted. In this case, not only exhausted emotionally, but also physically. And I'm not even going to even ask, maybe even financially draining on you. So it is something to kind of look at a little bit more serious. Come Wednesday, you're changing that energy. Sagittarian energy really is trying to focus on your growth so that you can bloom and bloom where you're at. Then we look at this as far as it's the career. Are you taking too much on? Is this overwhelming for you? Who knows? Maybe you're putting so much into it that you're trying to impress someone at work. Could it be your boss? Could it also be that the job that you have is now very monotonous and very tedious, and it's just a little bit overwhelming? And when we look at your finances, this is again a little bit more of not being able to get a handle on your finances. You're just, spending and overspending. So it's time to really have that reality check and come back to yourself to look at these areas on Wednesday with that Sagittarian moon that really is about growth. So the growth is bringing that to your attention. So if you go back to the lunar message and the lunar influence of Sagittarian, here is that it is important that you keep an open mind, that you start considering all the possibilities regarding this situation, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's at work, whether it's with your finances, and take a look at all the possibilities that there are. Don't focus on the roadblock that's in front of you. Don't focus on the thing that you're seeing for what it is. Focus on the ways that there are different possible outcomes depending on the different approaches that you use to move through. So when you use that amplified, bigger picture of seeing things, you may be able to see that. It may take time, but you can move onward and forward. You can change this situation to a more favorable outcome for yourself. We proceed on to the week and jump into Thursday. Well, it looks like you're taking a little bit of advice here. You're looking at the situation for what it is and not really focusing on, hey, this is just what it is right now. It doesn't mean that it cannot change. And it looks like on Thursday, things begin to improve. Things begin to get better in the family, in the relationship, at work, with the finances, with your friends. There's a lot of good vibe coming in on Thursday. And I'm kind of happy to say hump day is over. When we look at the number 10 itself, we see that this number 10 carries incredible energy of the 1 and the 0. So we see this optimistic energy. We have this feeling of confidence, independence, success. And not only do we see that as the number 1 goes on this journey through the elevations of number, ends up at number 10 as a completed journey and goes back to its basic, because when you take 1 plus 0, it takes you back to 1, meaning a lesson has been learned, a journey has been traveled, experiences have been gained. Come Thursday, there will be some success, something to be content about, something to be happy about, that things are beginning to come to fruition the way that you've been seeing it. So no matter how bad the week started, there's a saying out there that says it doesn't matter how you start, it's how strong you finish. So we see that here in this message, and in that there'll be an opportunity to make things right in this relationship. There'll be an opportunity to come to terms with what is working. And in the career, it's about creating stability for yourself and finding ways to make what you're doing work, and not to get so hung up in this moment, but to actually build up on what are the possibilities for the future. Also, financially, this is a great message, whether you're going to find a way to, get through the tough spot that you have, or a windfall's coming your way, or a blessing, or raise, or something. There is definitely stability beginning to, show up for you, or a way to attain that stability financially. Let's move on to Friday. Okay, Friday. While we see this card and we see 4 cups, as it seems upside down, it is not a bad card. Actually, it is kind of more to say when we see it the right side up. But here with this card here, with the 4 of Cups, on Friday, there may be an opportunity. Situations may show up where you can have a sudden awareness of what is working in your life. Maybe things you were thinking about them too much, too deeply, and it's just sometimes, when you're living in the heart, you sometimes forget that you have other parts of you that can help you live a beautiful life, and that you've got to find that balance between your mind and your heart. Stepping in and just living off your heart sometimes can hurt you and be very painful. So here, come Friday, it looks like you've been through some things that have allowed you now to look back at your situation, whether it's in your relationship, in your career, or your finances, and you're now able to embrace this new attitude, this new place where you find yourself. You've been able to get through the bump, the hard part, and see that you're still standing. And so here we are. Maybe you've had to let go of some things so that you can make room for some other better things in your life. It could be that you're going to be more active. If you're a single person, you might find yourself getting involved in activities that might put you around, other people. So it's not about, you're chasing someone, but it is being around other people and finding that you do have a lot of things in common with others, or that others have things in common with you. Also, if you are in a relationship, this could mean a new understanding. When you've been with someone for, let's say, 3 years, 10, 20, 30 or more, you begin to realize that there's new levels of love and new ways of understanding your partner. So this could be that type of situation that you might be having come the weekend very soon. And then we see the area also of your career. Whatever roadblock that you've been having in your career or in your arts, whether that's music, singing, writing, or your personal business or your charity work, community ventures, there's going to be a breakthrough finally, and you're going to be able to make the adjustments that you need so that you can go back and bring forth some great ideas, some great programs, and some great products. In the area of money, you're going to find out very soon that it is your willpower to make the adjustments financially that's going to be the biggest breakthrough you're going to have. Your willpower to say, I really don't need this. I may want it, but I don't need it. And that might be a little practice that you may be able to use moving forward. All right, let's see what happens on the weekend. So where we had a king on Tuesday that was emotionally messed up, come Saturday, we have the king now with his rod looking into his vast kingdom with more stability and a set of wisdom and maturity. And so, as I mentioned before, there's the vibration of number 14 to this king here, encouraging you to be progressive with the new things that are going to show up in your life, with the new change, with the new growth, with the new opportunities that are going to be there, because that is how you begin to manifest things like when you step out from the old ways and venture into these new possibilities where you're going to gain some wisdom. At the same time, do it with caution. You don't have to say yes to everything. You can slowly do some research and find out which of these things that are coming up and showing up in your life may be worthwhile pursuing. You don't have to say yes to everything, but definitely consider things so you can see all sides of the opportunities. As I mentioned, the King of Wands, we see him here in this throne with so much confidence that you could begin to almost feel that there's a sense of very pure energy. And we see that from the element of this yellow glowing through not only the energy that he's got this protection with this yellow cape, but that's what he's surrounded with. He has the courage with the orange that's wearing him around his body, and then he's got this shawl over him of communication and heart. He's got the heart to pursue his dreams. He's got the heart to deal with whatever is in front of him, and that golden crown, he has the wisdom and the blessing of divine guidance. So he's definitely ready to lead on with what he has in store. So again, like I said, beautiful charismatic energy coming through. You could be involved with someone that is very charismatic and just enchanting. And this person is willing to take the lead in this relationship. And you might be so enamored and so magically caught up in it that you might just allow this to happen. So when it comes to your career, again, good things have turned up because you've been able to kind of get a hold or a handle of this. So as you do that, you may find that you might be getting a raise towards a bigger position. If it's not a raise financially, a bump up because you have shown leadership qualities, and or people are coming to you for mentorship and guidance. So very interesting how that's going to play out. And when it comes to money, it seems that you are feeling confident that you'll be able to get control of the situation and gain stability. Sunday. Okay, well, the Knight of Swords. Let me put this right side up. Okay, so we see here where there's a charging forward with this knight, and he's got the sword. And remember that on Sunday we move into Aquarius energy, and the swords are of the air signs. Aquarius is an air sign, and I've said this before, there's no coincidence, that this card would show up on the day where the lunar influence is coming from Aquarius. A reminder that you need to, check in your progress. So while we're having some successes, Sunday is that time of retrospect as we're falling away from the new moon, those starting of goals, and now we're into that waxing journey. But the thing that we have here is that it is it was revealed in the reverse. But let's take a look at, for me, I associate the night with the number 12. So the energy and vibration of number 12 is all about higher consciousness and knowledge. And usually the night, we see that the night is protecting the kingdom, and it's about, charging forth, expanding the territory, and bringing knowledge. So we see this here with the night. But what is it? Because remember, it's upside down. So what is it that we are struggling with? When we know that we have Aquarius lunar influence, and what is it asking us to do? It's asking us to begin, new cycles, set new goals. But something has happened. Maybe Sunday it's like a relapse, falling back to some old habits, old patterns, old thinking. And that is where we need to make the correction so that we can move forward and have the results that we want in achieving our goals. The thing is, it's not to be discouraged that we had the relapse. It's, hey, I caught myself. It's okay. What can I do in the next minute to change that? That's that simple, really. With the night in reverse, it's just kind of a feeling that you want things now, you want them to happen this moment. And while your brain can see it happening, it's like molasses out here in the quote unquote real world. So what do we need to look? It's to regain focus so that we can have the results that we want. And on Sunday, as we move towards a new week, we may find that there could be some news, some information, something that creates conflict and argument. And this could bring out the ugly side in the other person. And maybe if you don't keep things in check in yourself as well. So the best thing is to remember this and find a place in your heart, in yourself, on how to make sure that the conversation, the situation does not escalate to a place where it would be irretrievable and you can't take back those words. So that's something to guard. In the area of career and work, because some people do work or bring their work on the weekends, or they have business in these transactions, may be that there is a business relationship or a business deal that is what I would call ruthless. And if you are doing a real estate transaction, you may feel that someone is taking advantage of you and getting more out of the deal than you are. So it's important that you do not be intimidated and stand your ground with that. And when it comes to money, be very careful that could be the possibility that someone is going to try to shortchange you, sweet talk you, and make you part with your money. Be very careful with financial deals on Sunday. There we have that. Let's move on now to angels and demons. The angels and demons was an inspiration when I was trying to put something together for our collective readings. And it's all about temptations and it's all about pleasures. Okay, so here we go. And what would be our pleasures as we move through this week? And what would be our temptations represented by demons? Angels. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10. We saw the number 10. Look at that. That same feeling that you get when everything's coming together and you have the Wheel of Fortune. And as I mentioned earlier, this is about, moving through cycles and understanding that we continue to expand. And as you finish one part of your life, whether it's a greater understanding in the relationship or career or your finances, we begin new chapters. And this is about that. This is understanding that there is a continuous growing and expansion, and we're moving forward to creating our own realities. That's what this is here to remind us through the number 1. What are the intentions that we have for our future? And with the number 0, it's about that universal energy, allowing the God force to move through you, to show you the way, to magnify all the greater virtues in you as you continue to look for ways to improve yourself. So the message that is coming here through the number 10 in this card, this vibration, it is all about opening yourself up to your ideas, allowing, like as we see the Wheel of Fortune, to go ahead wherever it falls, wherever it lands. You're willing to move through that experience. So pay particular attention to your intuition, to where you're being guided, and say yes to these opportunities. The Wheel of Fortune is associated with the planet Jupiter, which is that expansive planet for expansion, good luck, fortune, and the cycles of life. In this deck, we have the Sphinx, a monkey, and a crocodile. And these all elements bringing out different parts of us, whether it's for humor, whether it's wisdom, whether it's that versatility and creativity, both on land and in water, as those crocodiles like to do. And then the ability to see many sides of the coin. Tarot, Rota. Is it about the Torah, the book of wisdom from the Hebrew religion? There you have it. So there's a lot of opportunities that we see to move forward. So the message from the angels is about going with the flow, and in that, jumping into the opportunities as they show, and in it, show up with your best self. Bring in all the aspects of yourself. Allow wisdom to be with you. Allow for creativity in your life. Allow for humor. And in that, you will begin that new cycle and that expansiveness. Give life a chance. What will demons reveal? Okay, we have the Five of Cups, and we see a lot of things here that are upside down. So let's move this right side up and take a better look. And here we have cups, the symbol of cups. It says disappointments. And we see a person here by a lake, and they have these cups. 3 of them are already in the water. And it's interesting because here earlier you had the 4 of cups, and this was upside down. So as we look at this, so we see the moon in its crescent stage. So not a lot is being revealed here when it comes to the emotions. So what is it that the 5 of cups is trying to tell us with the number 5, as it resonates with what? The attributes of personal freedom, individualism, change, life lessons. What is it that you're holding back from? Are you going to, continue to sink into your emotions and keep buying into the game of the emotions where you can't swim out of them because you still don't know your own self? And so with the temptations is, will you be tempted to fall back into the emotional pit? And so being there, you can't move forward or live in the world of disappointments. So being that the card is upside down, it is telling you messages to be careful not to be tempted to fall back into old ways, old relationships, old pains, old spending habits, old vices, because if not, you will fall into a deep sea of disappointments. So here we have a beautiful message coming from the demons, from your temptations, more so of a warning, that if you do not heed the urge, if you do not heed the urge, if you do not assume the willpower that I remember mentioning here somewhere, then you may fall back into old patterns, old relationships, deceptions, and disappointments. So as you muster the strength to heed your inner voice, you can move out of this situation, move out of past hurtful relationships, move out of the situation, whether you've lost your job or you're looking for a better job, as you focus on what it is that is a true meaning in your heart. And also, as you master your financial habits, you begin to create stability for yourself. And instead of disappointments, you now create what I would call appointments for success. So there you have it when it comes to angels and demons. Beautiful message on either side. So very careful, as there is a lot of opportunities in any one given moment to fall back to old habits. And that is the warning. Which one will you go? Will you go with the flow and open yourself to new opportunities? Or will you struggle to hold on to old ways? Angels and demons. Which one will it be? Let's now move on to the elements of the zodiac, where we all get a chance to get a little sneak peek at how the elements of the zodiac during our particular sign will be influenced this week. So this is for the collective, okay? The collective. Okay, we will start off with our fire signs, followed by our water signs, then our earth signs, and our air signs. Okay. Fire. Whoa, fires are gonna be on fire. With the number 21, the world at your feet, you've got everything here that you can handle. What else can I say? You are going to be able to take things on. You see the opportunities as things show up. You're not staying focused on the small picture. You are moving on with your amazing energy and looking at the bigger picture, looking at what has come before you, what you have in front of you, and how you can wield the moment for your benefit. We have the vibration and energy of the number 21, which has the energies and combined energies of 2 and 1. So with the 2, it is about cooperation, partnerships, balanced relationships, and with the 1, it's about new beginnings, independence, this uniqueness that we have, and also that sense of success and achievements. So we have all this energy here flowing through. And then we add the fact that when you take the 2 plus 1, you have the combined energy of 3. Number 3 has a vibration that attracts the energy of manifestation, communication, wisdom. And so here we have all of this energy working here in this scope. So what I can see here, Sagittarians, as you move through your week, there's going to be a lot of things that you will be, what can I say, give closure to, complete some projects, be fulfilled in the things that you want to do, whether it's meetings, relationships, things at work, projects you've started with, financial decisions you're making. It's going to be really wonderful. This is going to be a pivotal week for you because it looks like you're going to be actually reach a milestone for yourself in your life, something that needed to be done on a personal level. You're going to be able to achieve that. And because of the experiences that you've had so far, you have built the resilience, the stamina, the idea of what it takes to do what you've got to do, especially when it comes to those long-term projects. So it's stay the course with that. And as you move forward, definitely you have a lot of long-term things that are still on the way, whether it's a marriage or a graduation. Some bigger things are going to be showing up. And the good news is that there are a lot of other things that you should be very proud of accomplishing. And this is just the beginning of the year. So wonderful things for you, as a great month that no matter what's been happening, there are some things that you're okay with letting go, and there are a lot of good things that you're ready to invite. Let's take a look at water sign. Okay, water is dealing with very earthy issues. For our water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, it looks like a little bumpy road ahead for this week. We've talked about the number 3 as we broke down the 21 down to its basics. So as I turn this card right side up, we see that we do have the number 3 representing communication, manifesting, wisdom. So something is going to be off in that area as this card is off. There could be some issues. For the water signs, remember, we've got a lot of cups here that showed up here. At least 3 of these are cup cards, and there may be some issues in that area. Might be a little bit rougher for the water signs, as the moon is going to be in Scorpio for a couple days in that as well. So we have this issue showing up, whether it's some type of deal or a project that you're working on. There's going to be a miscommunication, or there may be a delay in some plans that you have with a significant other, and those plans may need to be put off because maybe the money's not there, or some of the things that you wanted, whether it's venues or other elements that really needed to come through for you, will not be ready yet. So in the area of relationship, clearly this here is showing that there is some conflict in this relationship. You can't get on the same page with something. And that may be what's creating the tension in the beginning of the week for our water signs. And that is somehow also, that energy is spilling in the work area. There could be some frustration, maybe if there's team projects and work that actually you depend on others to be there for you. Well, they're not communicating. People are almost like they're all running in different directions. Like when you scare a bunch of cats, they all go off in different directions. This is kind of that thing where things are not clicking for you during this week for our water signs. And so here it's important that, come into the week aware of that, so when it does show up for you, you kind of figure out, how are we going to bring this back to order? What is it that I can do to bring focus back, where now I know what is happening? It's just that we're not all on the same page. And as you bring that awareness, you can find how to resolve that. Sometimes there's some office politics that it's hard to deal with, but I think that with time and with love and compassion, understanding what the other person wants and why that person wants that, we can begin to pull things together and have a greater outcome and result because of that. Make sure that when it comes to money, don't avoid the issues that may be showing up for you financially. Face them on and look for options and possibilities on how to negotiate around those things. Our earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's bring this right side up. So we see this person here cloaked in blue, and blue is associated, when we think about the chakras, with communication. So there's some sense of communication. Then we have swords here, 5 swords in his hand or her hand, and his. And the swords are with the air signs, and it's associated with communication and of the mind. Yet 2 of these things are firmly on the ground. Let's remember that the card was drawn upside down. But when we think about the number that is associated with this card, the number 7 has the vibration and energy of faith, spirituality, understanding. And so we see a situation here where, because it's in reverse, something you've lost your faith in something. For our earth signs, there's a sense of losing your faith in people, but losing your faith from a point of thinking. It's your thoughts are dragging you down, and they're keeping you in a stinky little place. And because of that, you can't move forward. And not much of you the information that you have is not all factual. Only a couple things are true. So it's important to take a look at what you're thinking or the information that you're receiving and realize that not all of it is true. Things are not as they appear. So we see a lot of things as we move on into the week. A few things have to do with the emotional aspect of the situations that are showing up. Some of these have to do with physical aspect, but most of it, when we look at the work at the 5-day week itself, there's just a lot of things that are just bubbling up out of emotion. You need to find the origin. What are you doing? What kind of heart game are you playing with your head? So with this upside down, it's kind of letting you know you need to start looking at different ways to address with this, because there could be that the way you see things are not as clear, or it could be that somebody here is not being totally sincere, and it could mean that somebody in your circle is going to come clean about something that had already transgressed. There may be a truth that will be revealed. So when it comes to love, there may be someone playing head games, and those lies are going to be revealed. So there's no more playing games. So the issues that will portend during the week in the area of love are going to be geared towards the reason why this relationship needs to move in a different direction. In the area of career and job, this is then playing out in that same sense, where what we see here is there could be a business deal, and I believe on Sunday, yes, a business deal that is not in your favor. So you'll need to change your approach, because someone is being very deceptive. Someone is not playing with all the cards. So it is important to pay attention to that. If not, it will cost you financially. Some way or other, whether you're going to have to pay because of the bad deal, you're going to lose on the investment, or have to hire someone to help you fix it all up again. It's still going to end up costing you. So for our earth signs, incredible week, as you are going to have to deal with very earthy matters, manipulations, financial or others situation that will kind of culminate in just this lie being exposed, and hopefully if you catch it right, it won't cost you a penny. Okay, let's look at now our air sign: Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Okay, so here we go. Another situation dealing with mundane matters. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And as we remember, we had on Sunday the Knight of Swords. So keep in mind for our air signs how this is going to be playing out for you, as this is in the reverse. So we start with the let's start just by looking at this black horse here and the Knight. So in this sense, in the sense that it's upright, there is a way and there is protection for the things that we're trying to acquire. Thing is that it is in the reverse. The number 11 is known as a master number, and it symbolizes spiritual awakening, soul mission, life purpose, creativity, that intuition and inspiration. So it has all this grand energy all about it. So what is it that is happening here, as it's almost like a refusal to charge forward with your life plan, with your life purpose? It's almost like things are a little bit overwhelming right now, that you can't focus on the greater aspect of yourself when you've got mundane matters to deal with. And so as we see that in the regular cards that showed up during the week, none of them were really any major arcanas. These were mundane matters that we need to quote unquote graduate. And so your week is going to be pretty much burdened with the fact that you're trying to get a grasp and understanding these things from a very physical point of view, things of the emotion and also things of the earth. As we see for the air signs with this Knight of Pentacles, having to really get down to earth and really see things for what they are and not for what you think that they are, since air signs are of the mind scope and the communication. So perhaps there could be a deal that is miscommunicated, and that's why it's going south. And be very careful that this person will not betray you in that transaction, or try to offer you something and sell you something else. Be very careful for that. Addressing this for my air signs, you might be actually feeling stuck in your situation, maybe stuck in this relationship, maybe stuck in your work. So for you, as it came out on Wednesday, that feeling stuck and you're just like, this feels like you don't have any motivation. You're not really excited about the job that you're doing. And in this relationship, it could be that, you've had enough of kind of having this person, suck the life out of you, literally. And now that we see that it's the Knight of Pentacles, it could be also that this person is somewhat needy when it comes to that physical aspect, not just needy of your time, but also could be needy of your resources. So this is really important and a reminder that you need to really take a look at your life, that you might have been ignoring the journey, because that is one thing that number 11 is about. It's trying to help you get yourself back on your life purpose. And so here, when you ignored yourself and the greater picture of this whole journey, this whole other movie, that life happens so that other things can happen, so that you can cultivate the best parts of you. And you've been so focused on life that you haven't been focused on cultivating your soul, your spirit. And so you're kind of getting to that place where, like, wow, this is where I'm at. And it's dragging you down, where now financial and personal issues almost becoming a normal and everyday thing. And it's almost like, this is my normal. I says, well, you can change that normal. You don't have to be in a relationship that does not satisfy you. You do not have to be in a relationship that does not inspire you. Imagine being with someone for 30, 40, 50 years and then regretting that there could be more excitement, that there could be more expansive, there could be, as most of our air people like it, verbal foreplay. And if that other person is as boring as a doorknob, hello, 30 years of that, 40 years of that, 50? Is that what you're looking for? Oops. And then when it comes to this thing with your career, the inspiration that you need to keep waking up in the morning and being excited about what you do, that ambition that helps you get on your horse and charge on to the pursuits of your heart's desire. Where is that? And so with that, again, when it comes to the financial side, we see that this person on this horse cannot keep money in their pockets, needless to say, in their hands. So I could tell you by looking at these cards, our water signs, earth signs, and air signs are going to have one heck of a very earthy week while all this lunar influence is happening and emotional and material things are happening. And our fire signs are off to the races. So a great week for one element of the zodiac, and the other 9 are going to be really working through a lot of what I call mundane issues that it's like, hey, you need to get to 2nd grade, but you first got to master 1st grade. You can do this. You got this. Let's move on now to our numerology aspect of this reading, where I will draw one number and figure out the vibe for the week. All right, let's see which one we will get. 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, so before we just go into the main number, let's take a look at how this is divided. Things during the beginning of the week and as it's moving forward. So it looks like just by looking at the way that the number showed up, that you will be able to progress forward. And if you focus on this, which is the number 3, if you focus on the communication, if you focus on that part, in manifesting and making things happen, you're going to get to this number 4, which is stability. So the number 3 is encouraging you to move forward, to look at, where you can grow, where you can tap in for abundance, whether it's abundance emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. It is finding ways so that you can continue growing and focus that energy in that direction. As we see this looking towards the past, we need to be okay that we did good with the information we had. We did good with the knowledge that we have and the resources. So let's not be too hung up that we could have done better. You know what? Given the circumstances again, you would still do the same thing because you didn't have the knowledge that you gained from that experience. Now you have wisdom and you open yourself up now to, hey, I understand myself a little better and I can actually intuit a little bit better as well. And then we look at the number 4. Moving forward, as we move into the things that we need to do, we need to kind of look at the vibration of this number 4, which it resonates with practicality, organization, patience, mastery, and loyalty. We see that we've got the 4 cornerstones here, and we see that we need the discipline to get where we need to go. And with that, we can achieve so much more. And the number 7 resonates with faith, collective consciousness, spiritual awakening and enlightenment, that inner wisdom and psychic abilities. So this is a reminder as we move forward through this different things that we have going on, that we tap into that inner wisdom, that most of those answers are within us, that we can create our luck. We create our luck through what? Our positive thinking, at looking at the glass half full rather than half empty. It's about creating those habits that are based on healthy activities that help us grow every day. It's about setting those intentions and the time and space so that we can manifest that good fortune for us. So as we move forward through these experiences, we can see that we can have some success. So the number 7 is auspicious, kind of letting you know that as you move through your week, luck is on your side, that you can overcome obstacles, and that success is just lying at the next minute based on the life choices that you are making. This is a reminder that as you make the corrections and you go with the flow and you choose which one is it going to be here, then you will be guided towards your soul purpose and positive things will flow towards your life again. All right, my dear one, let's move on now to the subscriber community question. As I mentioned earlier in this video, if you are interested in a mini reading, ask that one question and put it in the post here on this video, and I will bring it up in a future video. All right? Okay, so the subscriber community question that was brought in to me was, what area of my life requires more attention right now? Okay, that's going to be interesting. What area of my life requires more attention right now? So here we go. Got 3 little cards there. That should give us the answer. So, bam. Oh, your stinking thinking needs to be fixed a little bit. So it is a personal development that is required for you to master your thinking, to be the guardian of your thoughts. And there are many exercises, you can find them online, on how to kind of monitor those thoughts. And then the thing is that one little thing that I like to practice, because I do understand the power of the word, and when you say something in its negative, it's putting out an energy out there that wasn't in the world before. The voice and the resonance of the words that you put out there are now in the world. They weren't there before. And so what are these words? Are they beautiful words? Are they empowering words? And are these words bringing something back to you? Because they are like an echo. We just don't know when they're going to hit their wall, that they're going to come back bouncing with a couple friends. So it's important that you monitor your thoughts and be open to ideas. It looks like for the person that sent in this question, perhaps you have a very fixed way of thinking and it blocks you, and basically you create these walls for yourself. And so there may be a collective group that might be out there that can benefit from this message. Be a little bit open. Make those walls plastic so that you can give yourself permission to explore. And as you explore, you will open up to new ways of thinking, new possibilities, new adventures for you that are very beneficial. And so this is the matter right here. 2 cards are the matter with you. Okay, so here, and they both fall in the House of Wands. So it looks like 2 things. So one of the things that's important is to balance out the ideas that come to you and give it that chance and see which one is better. But at the same time, be very careful that you do not get sucked into other people's ideas. You have the King of Wands here, so it could be that you are easily influenced by others, and because of that, you don't have your own thoughts, your own decisions, your own identity. So one of the things that you need to do is, while you want to respect other people for what they want to share with you, you not necessarily mean that you have to live your life by their ideas and their decisions. Their ideas and decisions are based on their personal experiences and the way that they're made up. But it could be that for you, you need to balance those and look at the options and not just, take it all wholeheartedly, to take those wholeheartedly. You can balance things out and find out what works best for you. But you have to trust that you have to be an independent thinker. And when you do, guess what? It opens up the world for you. And you could see then that you can wield your own way through. You can make good choices. You can be creator of your destiny. You've got to entertain your own thoughts and stop worrying about what other people think. Okay? And there you have it. That's a real good message. All right, my dear one. I invite you now to 1 minute of kind of silent reflection with me. A 1 minute that you can blot out for yourself. 1 minute. I'll ring the bell at the beginning of the minute. We'll have silence for the whole minute, and then I'll ring the bell so we can come out of that. And in that silence, I encourage you to observe your breath, to allow the thoughts to float away, come back to your breath, and sit and observe the silence and you in that space. It's yours. Give yourself that 1 minute. It may be the most beautiful minute you will have all day long, because everybody's going to want your minutes. And then after that, I'll go ahead and we will close out our session with an affirmation. And you could use this as the affirmation for the week. Write it down on a piece of paper and repeat it in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night, and let it serve to reset you back on your path. All right, let's do this. I'll ring the bell. You can close your eyes, and then when I ring the bell the second time, you can open your eyes, feeling refreshed and ready to take on this week. I will now share the affirmation for the week. I'll say it twice, the first time just to say it, and then the second time you can say it with me. Every day I open up to more divine wisdom and understanding. Every day I open up to more divine wisdom and understanding. And here we are. All right, you've come through the other side, and here we are. Hopefully you've enjoyed your time with me. I sure have had a wonderful time putting this together for you, to empower you, to help you, to just give you a little boost and spend some time here with me. Also, if you haven't done so yet, hit that like button. Leave me your comments. Let me know you were here. What part did you like? What resonated most with you? And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. That way you'll get notified when I put up my next video. All right, my dear one. I wish you a blessed week. Till we meet again on the next video.